There are moments in life when the world around you shifts, when the unseen becomes more real than the seen, and when your very presence carries a weight that cannot be explained by human understanding. If you notice these things happening, then know that you carry the presence of God. You begin to feel a deep inner peace, one that does not depend on external circumstances. The storms of life may rage, yet within you there is stillness. This is not mere calmness. It is the awareness that you are held, that you are guided, and that nothing can shake the foundation upon which you stand. It is as if the very air around you hums with the assurance of divine protection. The desires of your heart begin to align effortlessly with your reality. Things you once strived for now flow into your life with ease. There is no need for struggle, for you have stepped into the realm of divine manifestation. Your words carry weight. What you speak begins to unfold before you, and what you believe with conviction finds its way into your experience. This is not coincidence. This is the evidence of God's power working through you. People are drawn to you, not for what you do, but for what you radiate. Some will come to you for wisdom, sensing that within you lies something greater than knowledge, a knowing that surpasses human intellect. Others may resist you, for the light within you exposes what is hidden. Your presence alone stirs the hearts of those around you, awakening in them either love or resistance. This is the mark of someone who carries divine presence. You find that obstacles no longer hold power over you. Where once doors remained shut, now they open before you. Paths unfold in ways you never anticipated, and opportunities arrive at the perfect moment. There is no need to chase after anything, for the universe bends in your favor. The energy of struggle is replaced by the grace of divine movement. Even in the face of adversity, you walk with assurance, knowing that all things are working together for your highest good. Your words and thoughts take on a new power. You begin to speak life into situations, and they transform before your eyes. Doubt loses its grip, and faith becomes second nature. You no longer beg or plead. Instead, you affirm, knowing that your prayers are not petitions, but declarations of truth. There is an authority in your voice, not from arrogance, but from the certainty that you and the divine are one. You experience a heightened awareness of divine synchronicity. You think of something and almost instantly confirmation appears. A message, a sign, a perfectly timed encounter. Everything aligns as if guided by an unseen hand. It is not luck. It is the natural outworking of carrying God's presence. You are no longer a mere observer of life. You are a creator, moving in harmony with divine will. Even in solitude, you are never alone. You sense the unseen, feel the embrace of a presence that walks with you, speaks to you, and moves through you. Fear dissolves because you know that you are sustained by something eternal. There is no separation between you and the divine. You are the vessel through which divine power flows. What once seemed distant is now as close as your own breath. You begin to see beyond appearances. Where others see lack, you see abundance. Where others see limitations, you see infinite possibilities. Your vision is no longer confined to the physical. You see with the eyes of faith, knowing that reality is shaped by what is unseen. Your world is no longer controlled by circumstances. It is shaped by the power of your belief. When you notice these things, know that you are not ordinary. You carry something sacred, something powerful, something eternal. You carry the presence of God. There is a weight to your existence, a presence that extends beyond flesh and bone. You do not walk as others walk, nor do you see as others see. There is an awareness within you, an unshakable knowing that transcends logic. When you carry the presence of God, life does not happen to you. It flows through you, responding to the force of your consciousness. Everything around you begins to shift. The places you once found comfort in may no longer hold the same appeal. The conversations that once entertained you now feel empty. You are no longer drawn to the noise of the world because something deeper calls you. Silence becomes your sanctuary. Not because you are alone, but because in the stillness you can hear the whisper of the divine. The distractions that once captured your attention now fade, for your spirit craves something greater. Running from the world, you are ascending above it. Time bends to those who carry the presence of God. What takes years for others to accomplish happens in moments for you. You think it, you believe it, and it manifests. What once seemed distant is now within reach. This is not wishful thinking. It is the nature of divine power. You do not chase, for what is yours gravitates towards you. There is no need for toil, for your very presence commands alignment. You step into a room, and the atmosphere shifts. Those who recognize the presence upon you will be drawn to you, while those who resist it will be unsettled. You are a carrier of something beyond human comprehension. You feel an overwhelming sense of love, not the fleeting kind found in human relationships, but a love that surpasses all understanding. It is the love that calms storms, the love that heals wounds, the love that whispers, "You are not separate, you are one with all that is." You look upon others with compassion, for you see beyond their actions, beyond their words. You see the divine spark within them, even when they cannot see it themselves. Where there is hate, you bring peace. Where there is chaos, you bring order. You do not react to the world, you shape it. Doors open before you as if an unseen hand goes before you, clearing the path. What seemed impossible now stands before you, waiting for you to step into it. You do not beg for opportunities, for you understand that they are drawn to you. You do not fear loss, for nothing real can be taken from you. The presence of God within you is the source of all provision, and you move through life with unwavering confidence. Others may call it luck, but you know the truth. It is the divine working through you. You begin to notice divine patterns. What once seemed like random occurrences now reveal themselves as orchestrated moments of destiny. You think of something, and the answer appears. You speak of someone, and they call you. You take a step forward, and the path unfolds before you. Coincidence no longer exists in your world. Everything is aligned, everything is ordered, everything is working in your favor. This is what happens when you carry the presence of God. People will misunderstand you. They will question your peace, your certainty, your unwavering faith. Some will try to pull you back into doubt, back into the ordinary ways of thinking. But you cannot go back. You have touched something eternal, and nothing less will satisfy you. The opinions of others no longer concern you, for you have found something greater than human approval. You walk with the confidence of one who knows their purpose, one who knows they are guided, one who knows they are never alone. Your words are no longer empty. You speak, and things move. You declare, and reality aligns. You do not hope for things to change. You expect them to. You understand the power of your voice, the creative force within you. When you say, "Let there be," it is so. The presence you carry does not allow for doubt. For doubt has no place where God resides. You do not pray with uncertainty. You speak with assurance. You do not ask timidly. You command boldly. Your faith is not fragile. It is unshakable. There is a boldness within you that cannot be explained. Where others hesitate, you move forward. Where others fear, you stand firm. There is no need for validation, for you already know who you are. The presence of God does not make you timid. It makes you powerful. You do not seek to fit in, for you were never meant to. You do not shrink yourself to make others comfortable, for you were created to shine. Your presence alone is a statement, a declaration that something greater is at work within you. You are no longer moved by appearances. What seems like a setback is nothing more than a setup. What looks like loss is only preparation for something greater. You see beyond the surface, beyond the temporary. Your trust is not in what you see with your eyes, but in what you know within your spirit. You walk by faith, not by sight. When others panic, you remain calm. When others retreat, you advance. The presence of God does not allow you to cower. It compels you to rise. You attract favor in ways that cannot be explained. Where others strive, you succeed effortlessly. Where others knock on doors, doors swing open for you. It is not because of who you are, but because of who is with you. You do not need connections, for you are already connected to the source of all things. You do not need permission, for you have already been chosen. The presence of God upon you is your qualification, and nothing can stand in the way of divine favor. Obstacles become stepping stones. What was meant to break you only builds you. What was meant to stop you only propels you forward. You are no longer bound by limitations, for you know that all things are possible. The presence of God within you removes barriers, dismantles opposition, and makes a way where there was no way. You are not waiting for circumstances to change. You are shifting circumstances with your faith. You begin to recognize the divine in every moment. You see God in the sunrise, in the laughter of a child, in the kindness of a stranger. The world is no longer mundane. It is sacred. Every breath is a gift. Every step is ordered. Every encounter is divine. You are aware, awake, alive in a way that others are not. You see the unseen, hear the unheard, know the unknown. There is no fear in you, for fear cannot exist where God dwells. You do not fear lack, for you know abundance. You do not fear failure, for you know success is inevitable. You do not fear death, for you know that you are eternal. The presence of God dissolves all fear, replacing it with unshakable confidence. You do not hesitate, you do not doubt, you do not retreat. You move forward with the authority of one who knows they are sent. You do not complain, for you understand the power of your words. You do not speak of lack, for you know that what you declare becomes your reality. You guard your tongue, for you recognize that every word carries weight. You do not waste energy on negativity, for you are too focused on creating. Your speech is deliberate. Your thoughts are intentional. Your actions are aligned with divine purpose. You live with gratitude, for you know that everything is working for your good. Even in challenges, you see the blessing. Even in trials, you find the lesson. You do not dwell on what is missing. You celebrate what is already yours. Your heart is full, your spirit is light, your mind is at peace. Gratitude is not something you practice. It is something you embody. Your life is a testimony. Without speaking a word, your presence alone tells the story of divine power at work. You are a living, breathing manifestation of God's presence. You do not have to convince others they see it. You do not have to prove yourself. It is evident. When you walk into a room, something shifts. When you speak, something moves. When you believe, something happens. If you notice these things happening in your life, then know without a doubt that you carry the presence of God. There is a stillness within you that no storm can shake. The world around you may be filled with noise, but inside there is peace. Not the fragile peace that depends on circumstances, but the kind that remains unmoved, unshaken, untouched. It is not the absence of trouble, but the presence of something greater. While others panic at uncertainty, you rest, for you know who holds your future. You do not fear what is to come, for you already walk in the assurance that all things are working for your good. The presence you carry is not one of doubt, but of divine certainty. People begin to come to you, drawn to something they cannot explain. They seek your presence, your words, your energy, though they may not understand why. It is not you they are after, but what is within you. You are a vessel of something divine, and even those who do not know God can sense that you walk with something greater. They bring their burdens, their questions, their confusion, hoping that just by being near you, they might receive clarity. You do not force wisdom upon them, but when you speak, it is as though truth flows through you effortlessly. Your words are not just heard, they are felt. They penetrate the heart, breaking chains, lifting spirits, awakening minds. You will notice that enemies arise, but you do not fear them. Resistance increases, but you do not falter. You understand that opposition is only proof of the power you carry. Darkness does not fight what does not threaten it. The moment you begin to walk fully in the presence of God, those who operate in deception and fear will feel the weight of your presence, but you do not fight with anger, for there is no need. You do not defend yourself, for the truth stands on its own. You do not seek revenge, for vengeance belongs to the divine. You simply stand, unbothered, unshaken, immovable. Your patience deepens. You no longer rush through life, chasing after things that were never meant for you. You do not strive, for you know that what is meant for you will come effortlessly. What others fight for, you attract. What others beg for, you receive freely. You understand that delay is not denial, but divine alignment. There is no need to panic, no need to force, no need to doubt. What is yours will find you, and nothing can take it away. Your trust is complete, your faith unwavering. You find yourself speaking differently. Words of doubt no longer exit your mouth. You do not say, I hope it works. You say, it is done. You do not say, I am afraid. You say, I am at peace. Your words are not casual. They are declarations. You know that the power of life and death is in the tongue, and you refuse to speak defeat over your life. Your language shifts from lack to abundance, from worry to trust, from uncertainty to confidence. You are careful with your words, for you understand that what you declare becomes your reality. Your energy changes. You do not chase people. You do not force relationships. You do not cling to what is leaving. What is not meant for you falls away effortlessly, and you do not mourn it. You do not grieve lost friendships, for you understand that elevation requires separation. You are not offended when people walk away, for you know that not everyone can go where you are going. You release without resistance, knowing that whatever is meant for you will remain. You are no longer desperate for connection, for you have already found the greatest connection of all. Your desires shift. What once excited you no longer holds your attention. The things that used to entertain you now seem dull. You hunger for wisdom, for truth, for depth. Surface-level conversations no longer interest you. You crave divine insight, revelation, understanding. You no longer waste time on things that do not feed your spirit. Your focus narrows, your priorities change, your heart aligns with a higher calling. What used to drain you now disgusts you. What once tempted you now repels you. You are no longer satisfied with anything less than divine purpose. People around you may not understand. Some will call you distant, others will say you have changed. They are right. You have changed. You are no longer who you once were. You no longer fit into the spaces that once contained you. You no longer engage in the same distractions. You have outgrown the version of yourself that needed external validation. You no longer seek approval, for you have already been approved by the divine. You do not explain yourself, for truth needs no defense. You do not justify your transformation, for those meant to understand will see it for themselves. You notice miracles more often, not because they were not happening before, but because your eyes are now open to them. The world calls them coincidences, but you know better. You see the hand of God in everything, the timing, the connections, the opportunities. They are too perfect to be random. Everything is orchestrated. Everything is aligned. Everything is unfolding exactly as it should. You do not doubt, for you see the evidence everywhere. You do not question, for you know that all things are working in divine order. You carry peace with you and others feel it. You enter a space, and without saying a word, the atmosphere shifts. Tension dissolves, anxiety fades, burdens lighten. It is not your presence that does this, but the presence within you. It is undeniable, unmistakable, unshakable. You do not need to announce it, for it is evident in how you move, how you speak, how you exist. You radiate something beyond human comprehension, something that cannot be fabricated, something that cannot be imitated. You can radiate something that cannot be imitated, You lose interest in arguments, in proving yourself, in convincing others. You are no longer affected by the opinions of those who do not understand your calling. You do not waste energy debating with those who refuse to see. You walk away from conflict, not because you are weak, but because you know your strength is not in words, but in presence. You do not engage in battles that are beneath you, for you understand that your victory has already been secured. You do not react to negativity, for you know that nothing can touch you unless you allow it. Your dreams become clearer, more vivid, more powerful. What used to be mere thoughts now come alive. You see glimpses of the future before they unfold. Your intuition sharpens. Your discernment deepens. You sense things before they happen. You know things without being told. You feel shifts in the spiritual realm before they manifest in the physical. You are guided, led, directed at every step. You no longer question where you are going, for you trust the one who is leading you. Everything that once confused you now makes sense. The delays, the detours, the disappointments, they were never setbacks, only setups. Every closed door was protection. Every loss was preparation. Every struggle was strengthening you for what is to come. You see now that nothing was wasted, nothing was accidental, nothing was outside of divine design. Every piece of your journey was necessary. Every lesson was preparing you. Every pain was molding you into the person you were destined to become. You are not the same, and you never will be. The presence of God upon you has changed everything. You walk differently, speak differently, think differently. You no longer wait for signs, for you have become the sign. You no longer seek confirmation, for you already know. You do not hesitate, for you have already decided. You are not afraid, for you have already won. If you notice these things happening in your life, then you do not need to question it. You do not need further proof. You do not need validation. You carry the presence of God. It is undeniable, unstoppable, unshakable. You are no longer walking alone. You are no longer searching for answers. You are no longer wondering if you are chosen. You know, and that knowing is all you need. There is a force moving through you, an energy that cannot be contained, a light that cannot be hidden. You feel it when you wake up in the morning, a quiet assurance that no matter what happens, you are held, you are guided, you are seen. You no longer chase after what is already destined to be yours. You no longer beg for what has already been promised. You walk as one who knows that the divine is working on your behalf, orchestrating, aligning, moving the unseen to bring forth the seen. The world around you begins to shift. Situations that once brought you stress no longer hold the same weight. Situations that once provoked a reaction from you now feel unimportant. You find yourself responding with patience, with wisdom, with grace. It is not that the world has changed, but that you have. You are not the same person who once fought unnecessary battles. You have no desire to prove yourself, no need to defend yourself. The presence you carry speaks for itself. It announces itself before you even open your mouth. People notice that there is something different about you. They may not be able to articulate it, but they feel it. They sense a shift in your energy, a depth in your presence, a power in your silence. You do not need to explain yourself, for your life has become the evidence of something greater at work. You are not moved by gossip, not disturbed by chaos, not shaken by uncertainty. The world may be in turmoil, but you remain anchored. The winds may blow, but you do not sway. The storms may come, but you do not break. You stand firm, unmovable, unstoppable. Doors begin to open effortlessly. Opportunities find you without struggle. What once required force now flows naturally. The things you once ran after now run after you. You understand that what is meant for you cannot be taken, delayed, or denied. You no longer worry about the future because you know the future is already written in your favor. The presence within you ensures that every step is guided. Every decision is blessed. Every path is made straight. There is no need to rush, no need to strive, no need to control. You surrender, and in that surrender, everything falls into place. Your relationships change. Some people will drift away not because you push them out, but because they no longer align with where you are going. Others will be drawn to you, sent by divine timing, meant to walk this journey with you. You do not force connections, for you understand that what is divinely appointed will naturally stay. You do not cling to the past, for you trust that whatever exits your life is making room for something greater. You release with grace, you let go with peace, you trust without fear. You begin to hear divine whispers in the quiet moments. You no longer need loud confirmations, dramatic signs, or external proof. You just know. There is an inner guidance, a sacred intuition that leads you, nudges you, speaks to you in ways that words cannot express. You find yourself in the right place at the right time, making decisions that seem small, but later reveal themselves to be monumental. You understand that nothing is random, that every moment is connected, that every experience is shaping you. Your battles are no longer fought with words, with anger, with resistance. You fight by standing still. You win by walking in peace. You overcome by refusing to be shaken. Your power is in your stillness, in your unshakable trust, in your ability to rest even when everything around you is in motion. The presence you carry does not require noise. It does not seek attention. It does not beg to be seen. It simply exists, and in its existence, everything changes. You find joy in the smallest moments, a sunrise, a quiet moment, a deep breath. You no longer need grand achievements to feel fulfilled. You no longer need recognition to feel worthy. You no longer need validation to feel enough. You are enough simply because you exist. You are complete, not because of what you have, but because of who you are. There is a contentment within you that nothing can take away. A joy that is not dependent on circumstances, a gratitude that flows effortlessly without condition, without expectation. Your vision expands. You no longer see with human eyes, but with divine perspective. You recognize that delays are not denials, that obstacles are only redirections, that every challenge carries a lesson. You do not panic when plans shift, for you understand that what is meant for you cannot be lost. You trust the process even when you do not understand it. You embrace the unknown, knowing that it is leading you somewhere greater. You walk by faith, not by sight, and in doing so you see what others cannot. Everything about you radiates assurance. You do not question your worth, for you know that you are chosen. You do not doubt your path, for you know that you are guided. You do not fear the future, for you know that it has already been secured. You move differently, speak differently, think differently. You are no longer waiting for permission to be you were created to be. You are no longer playing small, no longer shrinking to make others comfortable. You stand tall, fully aware of the light you carry, fully confident in the presence that dwells within you. Time bends in your favor. What should take years happens in months. What should be difficult becomes effortless. The impossible becomes possible. It is not luck, not coincidence, not chance. It is the divine presence moving through you, working for you, manifesting around you. You are not striving. You are flowing. You are not forcing. You are allowing. You are not chasing. You are attracting. Everything that belongs to you is making its way to you with perfect timing, with divine precision. You do not compare your journey to others, for you know that your path is uniquely designed for you. You are not in competition, not in a race, not in a hurry. You trust that what is yours will never miss you. You celebrate others without jealousy, knowing that their success does not diminish your own. You move with confidence, knowing that your story is unfolding exactly as it should. There is no need for anxiety, no room for doubt, no space for fear. You trust, and because you trust, you are at peace. The presence you carry cannot be hidden. It is felt in your words, in your silence, in your very being. It is not something you put on. It is something you embody. It does not fade, does not weaken, does not waver. It is constant, unwavering, eternal. It goes before you, making ways where there were none. It surrounds you, protecting you from what you cannot see. It dwells within you, filling you with wisdom, with strength, with clarity. If you have noticed these things in your life, then you already know. You do not need further proof. You do not need confirmation. You do not need validation. You carry the presence of God, and because of that, everything about your life is different. Everything about your future is secure. Everything about your path is aligned. There is nothing to fear, nothing to doubt, nothing to question. And that knowing is enough. There is a certainty that settles within you, a quiet knowing that you are never alone. Even in moments of solitude, there is a presence that envelopes you, a warmth that reassures you, a whisper that speaks directly to your soul. You no longer seek external validation because the truth of who you are has already been revealed to you. The world may offer its opinions, but they do not define you. Circumstances may shift, but they do not shake you. The presence within you is the foundation upon which your life stands, and because of it, you cannot be moved. There is a divine order unfolding in your life. You begin to notice how things align without effort, how opportunities present themselves without struggle. The right people enter your life at the right time. The right doors open exactly when you need them to. You are no longer forcing things to happen. You are allowing them to unfold. You have stepped into a rhythm, a flow, where everything works together for your good. What once seemed impossible now feels inevitable. What once required endless striving now comes with ease. Your perception of time changes. You are no longer in a rush, no longer anxious about the future. You understand that what is meant for you will never miss you. You trust that everything is happening in divine timing, and because of that, you are at peace. Delays do not discourage you. Setbacks do not break you. Uncertainty does not make you afraid. You move with patience, knowing that everything is being arranged in ways beyond your understanding. You do not chase. You do not beg. You do not grasp. You receive. The presence within you draws things toward you without effort, without strain, without manipulation. What you seek is already seeking you. The desires of your heart are not random. They are planted within you for a reason. You no longer doubt your worthiness to receive. You no longer question whether you are deserving. You know that you are. You understand that you are not waiting for a blessing. You are the blessing. You are not waiting for an answer. You are the answer. Everything you need has already been placed inside of you. You find yourself detached from outcomes. You are no longer afraid of losing, no longer worried about missing an opportunity, no longer obsessed with controlling the process. You trust that what belongs to you cannot be taken, cannot be delayed, cannot be denied. This trust gives you freedom. You move with an open heart, unafraid of disappointment, unafraid of failure, unafraid of the unknown. You no longer hold on too tightly, for you know that what is yours will always return to you. There is a radiance in your presence. It is not forced, not fabricated, not performed. It simply is. You do not need to announce it, for it speaks for itself. People are drawn to you, not because of what you say, but because of what they feel in your presence. There is peace in your energy, wisdom in your silence, love in your very being. You carry something that cannot be explained, only experienced. Without trying, you uplift others. Without effort, you inspire. Without speaking, you remind people of something greater. Your faith is no longer dependent on what you see. You do not need signs to believe. You do not need proof to trust. You simply know. Even in moments of uncertainty, you remain confident. Even when things do not make sense, you remain steadfast. You understand that the presence within you is greater than anything that can come against you. You do not fear the unknown, for you know that you are held. You do not fear the future, for you know that it is already secure. There is a stillness within you. The world may be chaotic, but you are calm. Situations may be unpredictable, but you are steady. People may be unreliable, but you are anchored. You are no longer easily swayed by emotions, no longer reactive to negativity, no longer controlled by external circumstances. You observe, but you do not absorb. You acknowledge, but you do not engage. You understand that your peace is your power, and you guard it fiercely. Things that used to trigger you no longer have the same effect. Where you once would have reacted, you now respond with wisdom. Where you once would have engaged in unnecessary conflict, you now choose silence. Where you once would have fought to prove yourself, you now let your presence speak. You no longer seek validation, for you know that you are already enough. You no longer need permission, for you know that you are already chosen. Your prayers shift. You no longer pray from desperation, but from expectation. You do not beg, you declare. You do not plead, you affirm. You do not hope, you know. Your words carry power. Your intentions carry weight. Your desires manifest with ease. You understand that your thoughts create. Your beliefs shape reality. Your faith moves mountains. You are no longer asking for what is already yours. You are stepping into it with certainty. You feel a deep connection to everything around you. Nature speaks to you in ways it never has before. A breeze, a sunset, a quiet moment all feel sacred. You no longer rush through life, but savor it. You no longer overlook the small moments, but cherish them. You realize that presence is not just something you carry, it is something you live. You are fully here, fully aware, fully alive. Your heart expands, compassion flows effortlessly. You forgive easily, not because others deserve it, but because you deserve peace. You release resentment, not because the past changes, but because you refuse to be bound by it. You love without fear, without hesitation, without condition. Your love is not transactional, not limited, not selective. It is pure, abundant, overflowing. You no longer need love to be proven, for you have become love itself. You become an example without trying. Your life speaks louder than your words ever could. Your actions reflect your faith. Your presence reflects your peace. Your being reflects divine love. You do not need to force anyone to understand you, for those who are meant to will see it. You do not need to convince anyone of your worth, for those who recognize truth will honor it. You are a light, and light does not seek permission to shine, it simply shines. You recognize the divine in others. You see beyond appearances, beyond mistakes, beyond limitations. You see people not as they are, but as they are capable of becoming. You speak life into them, not by force, but by presence. You remind them, not with words, but with example. You do not demand change, you inspire it. You do not push growth, you embody it. Everything begins to align in ways you never imagined. Hearts open where there were none. Resources appear without explanation. Solutions arise without effort. It is not magic, not coincidence, not luck. It is divine orchestration. It is the natural flow of one who walks with presence, one who trusts the unseen, one who knows that they are guided. There is nothing to fear, nothing to prove, nothing to doubt. You are not waiting for a sign. You are the sign. You are not waiting for confirmation. You are the confirmation. You are not waiting for permission. You are already chosen. You walk with authority, with certainty, with unshakable faith. You do not wonder if you carry presence. You know that you do. And because of that knowing, everything about your life is different. There is a deep sense of knowing that rises within you, a certainty that defies logic, a quiet voice that reassures you in ways no external words ever could. You no longer search for signs outside of yourself, because you have come to recognize that the greatest sign is within you. There is no need to seek validation from the world, for the presence you carry is your confirmation. You walk with a confidence that is not arrogant but assured. It is not based on circumstances, but on truth. Even when things seem unclear, you do not waver. Even when the path is uncertain, you do not fear. The presence within you is your compass, guiding you, directing you, aligning everything for your highest good. Situations that once troubled you no longer have the same power. You do not react as you once did. You no longer feel the need to defend yourself, to prove yourself, to explain yourself. The presence within you has settled every argument before it even begins. There is a peace that speaks louder than words, a stillness that cannot be shaken. The opinions of others no longer define you, for you know who you are. Rejection does not wound you, for you understand that nothing meant for you can ever pass you by. Delay does not discourage you, for you have come to trust divine timing. You are no longer a prisoner of external circumstances. You have become free in the true sense. Doors open effortlessly. What once required struggle now flows with ease. Where there were obstacles, now there are opportunities. What seemed impossible suddenly becomes inevitable. It is not that life has become easier, but that you have stepped into alignment. You no longer force, no longer chase, no longer manipulate outcomes. Instead, you allow, you trust, you receive. Everything you need is drawn to you, not through effort, but through presence. There is a quiet power in knowing that you do not have to strive, that you do not have to beg, that you do not have to push. What is yours will always find you. Your very being carries authority. It is not in the volume of your words, but in the weight of your presence. You do not need to prove your power, it is felt. You do not need to announce your wisdom, that is known. There is something about you that shifts the atmosphere, something unseen yet undeniable. When you enter a room, things change. People sense it without understanding it. Some are drawn to it, others are unsettled by it, but none can ignore it. It is the mark of those who carry presence. You are no longer easily moved by the opinions of others. Praise does not inflate you, and criticism does not diminish you. You are anchored, grounded, unwavering. You understand that approval from people is fleeting, but the presence within you is eternal. You do not seek to please everyone, for you know that not everyone will understand the path you walk. You do not seek to be understood by all, for you realize that truth is often recognized only by those who are ready to see it. You are at peace with being misunderstood, at ease with walking alone if necessary, content with the knowledge that you are guided. Your relationship with challenges has transformed. What once seemed like opposition now feels like preparation. What once felt like resistance now appears as refinement. You do not resent difficulties, you embrace them. You do not fear hardship. You welcome growth. There is a deep trust that no experience is wasted, that every challenge carries a lesson, that even in the most difficult moments, you are being shaped for something greater. You no longer ask, why is this happening to me? Instead, you ask, what is this teaching me? And in that shift, you find strength where others find despair. You begin to notice divine synchronicities unfolding all around you. The right words appear at the right time. The right connections happen effortlessly. Answers come before the questions are even spoken. You are being guided in ways beyond human comprehension, led down a path that was prepared for you long before you were aware of it. The more you trust, the more the signs appear. The more you let go, the more everything aligns. You have stepped into a flow where struggle is replaced by surrender, where worry is replaced by wonder, where fear is replaced by faith. Your desires begin to manifest with precision. You no longer hope for things, you expect them. You do not beg for blessings, you step into them. Your prayers shift from requests to declarations, from asking to affirming, from wishing to knowing. You understand that what you seek is already seeking you. You realize that the dreams placed in your heart were never random. They were divine instructions waiting to be followed. And as you align with that truth, things unfold in ways that leave no doubt. There is an undeniable power in your words. You do not speak idly, for you understand the weight of what you declare. You no longer say things casually, for you know that words shape reality. You choose your thoughts carefully, your speech intentionally, your affirmations with certainty. What you speak, you see. What you believe, you become. You do not entertain negativity. Do not engage in doubt. Do not dwell in fear. Your mind is a garden, and you protect it fiercely. You plant only what you wish to grow. You begin to radiate a love that is unshaken by circumstances. You are no longer easily offended, no longer easily angered, no longer burdened by past hurts. You forgive not because others deserve it, but because you refuse to carry the weight of resentment. You love not because of what you receive in return, but because love is your nature. You give freely expecting nothing, knowing that abundance is your birthright. Your presence heals without effort, uplifts without trying, transforms without force. You recognize divine purpose in everything. Even the smallest moments feel significant. A simple conversation carries deeper meaning. A quiet moment becomes sacred. You no longer rush through life, but savor it. You no longer overlook the ordinary, but find the extraordinary within it. Life itself becomes a reflection of the presence you carry. Your faith is no longer something you practice occasionally. It is something you live. It is in the way you walk, the way you speak, the way you move through the world. It is in your stillness, in your confidence, in your ability to trust even when nothing makes sense. You are no longer seeking miracles. You have become one. You are no longer searching for signs. You are the sign. You do not wait for confirmation. You are already chosen. And because of that knowing, you carry yourself differently. You think differently, speak differently, move differently. Everything around you begins to reflect the presence within you. People sense it before you speak. Opportunities align without effort. Doors open without knocking. You do not chase. You do not grasp. You do not force. You trust. You receive. You embody. The presence within you is undeniable. It is seen. It is felt. It is known. It is who you are. You are no longer waiting for a sign because you have become the sign. You are no longer searching for answers outside of yourself because the truth has always been within you. The presence you carry is not something you strive for. It is something you surrender to. It is not something you chase. It is something you embody. The moment you recognize it, everything changes. Your steps are guided. Your path is clear, and your spirit is at peace. Walk boldly knowing that you do not move alone. Speak with authority knowing that your words shape reality. Trust unwaveringly, knowing that what is meant for you will always find you. Carry this presence with humility, with certainty, and with love. For when you do not just live, you transform. And through you, the world sees the undeniable proof that God is with you. There is a presence within you greater than any obstacle you face, mightier than any storm you endure. This presence is not outside of you, nor is it separate from you. It is the very essence of your being. You have been conditioned to believe in struggle, in fear, in doubt, but today you are being called to release it all. Let go of the weight you have carried for too long, for it is not yours to bear. The very thing you are worried about is already resolved in the unseen. The moment you surrender your worry, you open the door for divine intervention. You do not need to struggle, to beg, or to plead. God does not require desperation. He requires trust. He does not respond to fear. He responds to faith. What you hold in your mind, you hold in your hands. And if your mind is filled with doubt, fear, and worry, you will see more of the same in your life. But if your mind is filled with trust, with certainty, with the knowing that all is well, then your world must reflect this truth. You are not placed on this earth to suffer, to be lost, to feel abandoned. You are a child of the divine, an expression of the infinite, and you have within you the power to shift everything. The same power that created the heavens and the earth moves through you now. It is waiting for you to acknowledge it, to believe in it, to rest in its certainty. The battle is not yours to fight, for the victory has already been won. So the answer exists before the question is even asked. Look around you. Every star, every wave, every blade of grass exists in perfect order. There is no chaos in creation, no randomness in divine design. If the entire universe is held together by perfect harmony, how much more are you cared for? How much more are you seen, guided, and loved? You have been taught to measure your life by what your eyes can see, but what is seen is only a reflection of what is unseen. The truth is, the moment you ask, it is given. The moment you knock, the door is open. You are not alone. You have never been alone. Every moment of your life, God has been leading you even when you could not see it. Every hardship, every delay, every closed door was guiding you towards something greater. The divine plan is unfolding even now, and it is greater than anything you have imagined. Do not be deceived by appearances. What looks like an ending is only a beginning. What seems like loss is merely a passage to something better. Today, let go of the need to control, to overthink, to force things into place. Stand still and know that He is God. When you surrender, miracles begin. When you rest in faith, the path is made clear. When you believe, all things become possible. The burdens you carry are lifted. The fears that have weighed you down dissolve. The solution is already here. It is done. It is finished. Now, all you must do is trust. There is nothing in your life that is beyond the reach of God's power. Nothing too broken, nothing too lost, nothing too far gone. The mind has been trained to believe in limitations, in obstacles and impossibilities. But God knows no such thing. What you call a problem, He calls an opportunity. What you see as a delay, He sees as perfect timing. What you feel is overwhelming is nothing in the presence of the infinite. And so today you are being called to step out of worry and into trust. The mind will tell you that if you do not worry, you are being irresponsible. That if you do not struggle, you are not trying hard enough. But what if the opposite were true? What if your very effort, your very worry is the thing standing in the way? What if the moment you surrender, you allow the floodgates of heaven to open? You are being asked to do something radical, to trust that all is well even when your senses tell you otherwise, to direct your mind and to know that all your senses, let them know where you are. If you really believe in what you cannot yet see, to hold on to the knowing that the same God who brought you this far will not abandon you now. There is a divine intelligence that orchestrates all things. It knows the way when you cannot see it. It has prepared a path when you feel lost. It has already answered before you even asked. But worry blinds you. It clutters your mind with doubt and fills your heart with fear. Worry is a thief. It steals your peace, your joy, your clarity. And yet, it changes nothing. Not once has worry solved a problem. Listen and listen in action. Not once has anxiety made a way where there was none. But trust has moved mountains. Trust has parted seas. Trust has made the impossible possible. The problem is not that God is not working in your life. The problem is that you are looking in the wrong direction. You are searching with your physical eyes instead of your spiritual ones. You are measuring progress by what you can touch instead of what is already unfolding in the unseen. What you seek is already here, but you must align yourself with it. And alignment does not come through worry. It comes through faith. Have you ever noticed how effortlessly the sun rises each morning? It does not struggle. It does not force its way through the darkness. It simply appears as it was designed to do. This is how your blessings will come effortlessly, naturally, in perfect time, but only if you allow it. Only if you stop resisting. Only if you stop doubting what has already been promised to you. Everything that is happening in your life right now, even the things you do not understand, is part of a greater plan. The delays are not denials. The closed doors are not punishments. The detours are not mistakes. They are all pieces of a divine masterpiece, one that is being woven together in ways far beyond your comprehension. And when you finally see it come together, when you finally witness what God has been preparing for you all along. You will understand why you had to wait, why certain things had to fall apart, why certain people had to leave, why certain prayers seemed unanswered. But in truth, no prayer ever goes unanswered. Every word you have ever spoken, every silent cry, every whispered hope has been heard, and not only heard, but answered. The answer exists even now, but it is waiting for you to receive it. And you cannot receive with hands that are clenched in fear. You cannot receive with a heart that is burdened with doubt. You must release. You must open yourself to the truth that God is not just with you. He is within you. And within Him there is no lack, no struggle, no failure. What if you lived today as if everything you needed was already on its way? What if you spoke as if the solution was already here? What if you carried yourself with the confidence of someone who knew, beyond a shadow of a doubt, that their prayers had already been answered? Would you still worry? Would you still stress? Or would you walk in peace, knowing that all things are unfolding exactly as they should? There is a reason you are hearing this message today. There are no accidents in the divine order of things. God is speaking to you, calling you to a higher way of being. You have been trapped in worry for too long. You have allowed fear to take up residence in your heart for too long, but no more. Today is the day you release it. Today is the day you choose faith over fear. Do not wait for circumstances to change before you find peace. Do not wait for everything to make sense before you trust. Faith does not wait for evidence. It creates it. Faith does not need proof. It is the proof. And the moment you embody this faith, the moment you live in the certainty that God has already solved, your reality will shift. What once seemed impossible will become effortless. The doors that once felt locked will swing open. The path that once seemed unclear will be illuminated. You are closer than you think. The breakthrough is not ahead of you. It is within you. The moment you stop seeking outside of yourself, the moment you stop doubting, you will see it. God has already made a way. You do not need to fight for it. You do not need to earn it. You only need to believe. And when you do, everything will change. You have been searching for answers, trying to find solutions, trying to figure out how everything will come together. But the answer has never been outside of you. The answer has been within you this entire time. God has already spoken. He has already declared victory over your life. He has already set things in motion. And nothing can stop what He has ordained for you. You do not need to chase after what is already yours. You do not need to struggle for what has already been given. The only thing required of you is belief. And belief is not just a fleeting thought. It is a deep inner knowing, an unshakable conviction that no matter what appears before you, the truth remains unchanged. The truth is that you are taken care of. The truth is that you are guided, protected, and provided for. The truth is that the same power that created the universe is within you, working through you, unfolding every detail of your life in perfect harmony. Worry is a habit, and like all habits, it can be broken. You have become so accustomed to anticipating problems, preparing for disappointments, and expecting delays that you have unknowingly conditioned yourself to live in a state of fear. But you were not created to live this way. You were not created to dwell in anxiety, to carry the weight of the world on your shoulders. God never asked you to figure it all out. Chocanus came away. God never asked you to figure it all out. He never asked you to fix everything on your own. He only asked you to trust. When a child is in the arms of a loving parent, they do not worry about what will happen next. They do not question if they will be provided for. They simply rest in the certainty that they are safe. That is the kind of trust you are being called to embody. A trust that does not waver, a trust that remains steady even when the winds of life are strong, a trust that knows without a doubt that everything is already taken care of. Look back at your life. How many times have you thought that things were falling apart, only to realize later that they were actually falling into place? How many times have you feared the worst, only to be met with unexpected blessings? How many times have you doubted, only to later see that God had been working all along? If He did it before, He will do it again. He is the same yesterday, today, and forever. His promises have not changed. His power has not diminished. His love for you has not wavered. Right now, you may not see the way forward. You may not understand how things will come together, but that is not your concern. Your concern is to align yourself with the truth. Your concern is to hold fast to faith. Your concern is to speak only what you desire to see, to think only thoughts of victory, to dwell only in the certainty that all is well. Do not let the noise of the world distract you. Do not let the opinions of others shake your confidence. Do not let temporary circumstances convince you of a false reality. What you see with your physical eyes is fleeting, but what is unseen is eternal. What is unseen is what matters most. You are standing at the threshold of transformation. Everything you have been asking for, everything you have been hoping for, is waiting for you to step into alignment with it. The moment you stop doubting, the moment you stop resisting, the moment you release the need to control, the floodgates will open. You will see with clarity what has been there all along. You will realize that you were never waiting on God. He was waiting on you. The struggle ends the moment you decide it does. The burden lifts the moment you let go. The solution appears the moment you believe it is already done. Faith is the bridge between where you are and where you desire to be, and that bridge is already built. You only need to walk across it. Every delay you have faced has served a purpose. Every challenge you have encountered has strengthened you. Every hardship you have endured has prepared you. Nothing has been wasted. Not a single tear, not a single prayer, not a single moment of uncertainty has been in vain. It has all been working together for your good. And when you finally see the full picture, when you finally understand the divine plan that has been unfolding all along, you will stand in awe of how perfectly everything has been arranged. There is no need to fear what is ahead. There is no need to worry about how things will unfold. There is no need to question whether you are worthy of receiving the blessings that have been prepared for you. You are worthy because He has made you worthy. You are chosen, you are favored. You are loved beyond measure. Let today be the day you decide to trust completely. Let today be the day you release every doubt, every fear, every hesitation. Let today be the day you stand in the fullness of faith, knowing that what you have asked for is already on its way. Not tomorrow, not someday in the distant future, but now, in this moment, because the moment you believe, it is done. Close your eyes and breathe in this truth. Let it fill every part of you. Let it settle into your heart and take root in your soul. You are not alone. You have never been alone. And you never will be. Everything you need is already yours. Everything you desire is already unfolding. And all that is required of you is to receive. The universe is already moving in your favor. Every force in existence is aligning to bring forth what has been promised to you. There has never been a delay, only preparation. There has never been denial, only divine timing. The moment you recognize this truth, the weight you have been carrying will dissolve, the worry that has gripped your mind will release its hold, and peace will take its place. Then, very short, you will finally understand that nothing was ever missing. Everything was always unfolding exactly as it should. You have prayed, you have asked. But have you truly received? Have you truly stepped into the knowing that what you desire is already done? Or have you been waiting, hoping, hesitating? There is a difference between wanting something and living as though it is already yours. God does not respond to desperation. He responds to faith. Faith is not begging. Faith is not pleading. Faith is the unwavering certainty that what has been spoken will come to pass. But look around you. Everything you see was once unseen. Every breakthrough you have experienced was once a prayer. Every blessing you have received was once just a thought. And yet, here you are, standing in the reality of what was once only a vision. What makes you think that the next miracle will be any different? What makes you believe that God has suddenly stopped working on your behalf? He has not stopped. He has not forgotten. He has not changed. When a farmer plants a seed, he does not dig it up every day to check if it is growing. He does not question whether it will bear fruit. He does not doubt the process. He simply trusts, waters the soil, and waits in confidence, knowing that in due time the harvest will come. That is the kind of faith you are being called to embody. A faith that does not waver. A faith that does not question. A faith that stands firm regardless of what the physical eyes can see. You were never meant to struggle. You were never meant to live in a state of fear, uncertainty, or lack. These are illusions, temporary distractions from the greater truth that resides within you. The truth is that abundance is already yours, healing is already yours, breakthrough is already yours. But you must accept it. You must claim it. You must stand in the fullness of faith and say, "It is done." Every time you doubt, you delay. Every time you fear, you push away what is rightfully yours. Every time you focus on the problem, you strengthen it. But when you shift your focus, when you turn your attention to the certainty of God's provision, when you align yourself with the divine order of the universe, everything begins to flow effortlessly. The walls that once seemed impenetrable crumble. The barriers that once stood in your way dissolve. The doors that once seemed closed swing wide open. You have been conditioned to believe that you must strive, that you must fight, that you must struggle for what is already freely given. But what if you simply let go? What if you released every ounce of resistance and surrendered to the flow of divine grace? What if you stopped worrying altogether and stepped fully into trust? It is not your job to know how. It is not your job to figure out when. Your only responsibility is to believe, to trust so completely that there is no room for fear, to have such certainty that even in the darkest moments you stand unshaken, knowing that the light is already on its way. God is not limited by time. He is not bound by circumstances. He is not restricted by what appears impossible. What seems like a mountain to you is nothing more than a pebble in the hands of the Almighty. What seems like an obstacle to you is nothing more than an illusion waiting to dissolve. But you must allow it. You must step out of the way and let divine order take over. Worry is an act of distrust. It is a sign that you have not fully surrendered, and yet surrender is the key. Surrender is not giving up. It is rising above. It is choosing to release the burden and allow the highest power to work on your behalf. It is standing in stillness, not because you are powerless, but because you know that the greatest power in existence is already moving through you. The moment you stop resisting, everything will shift. The answers you have been seeking will appear effortlessly. The solutions you have been searching for will present themselves without struggle. The opportunities you have been waiting for will come knocking at your door. Because it was never about effort. It was never about force. It was always about alignment. When you align yourself with truth, the world around you must conform. When you align yourself with faith, reality has no choice but to mirror that faith. When you align yourself with divine timing, everything falls into place with precision, ease, and perfection. You do not need to chase. You do not need to beg. You only need to receive. Receiving is not passive. It is an active choice. It is the choice to trust when everything in you wants to doubt. It is the choice to believe when the world tells you otherwise. It is the choice to stand firm in faith, knowing that what has been promised is already yours. The noise of the world will try to distract you. The doubts in your mind will try to shake you. The circumstances before you will try to convince you that nothing is changing. But that is only a test. That is only a temporary illusion designed to strengthen your resolve. Do not waver. Do not give in to fear. Hold your ground and know that everything is working. This is not the time to question. This is not the time to hesitate. This is the time to step fully into faith, to declare with absolute certainty that all things are being made right, to move forward with the confidence that the way is already prepared, to live as though you have already received, because in truth you have. The moment you truly believe is the moment everything changes. Not tomorrow, not next week now. Because faith does not operate in time, it operates in the eternal now. The moment you decide that you are free, you are free. The moment you decide that you are healed, you are healed. The moment you decide that your breakthrough has come, it has already arrived. You have spent enough time worrying. You have spent enough time doubting. You have spent enough time waiting. Now is the time to step fully into trust. Now is the time to release every fear, every hesitation, every ounce of resistance. Now is the time to stand in the absolute knowing that God has already made a way. Breathe in the truth of these words. Let them settle deep within your spirit. Let them dissolve every lingering doubt. Let them replace every fear with certainty. You are safe. You are loved. You are provided for. And everything you have been asking for, everything you have been seeking, is already on its way. Not because of what you have done, not because of how hard you have tried, but because you are a child of God and He has already declared it to be so. It is finished. It is done. And now, all that remains is for you to receive. The power that created the heavens and the earth is the same power that flows through you now. It has never left you. It has never been distant. It has never withheld anything from you. But you have been taught to look outside of yourself, to search for solutions in the world, to believe that your answer lies somewhere beyond your reach. That is the great illusion. The truth is, everything you seek is already within you. That every solution, every breakthrough, every blessing, it is already yours. But you must awaken to this knowing. You must stop waiting, stop doubting, stop believing that you are separate from the divine source that sustains all things. When you pray, do you pray from a place of lack or from a place of certainty? Do you beg for what is already yours, or do you give thanks, knowing that it is already being granted? This is the difference between faith and fear. Fear prays as if God is far away. Fear prays as if there is uncertainty in the outcome. But faith prays with gratitude. Faith does not ask, it claims. Faith does not wonder. It knows. And the moment you shift from hoping to knowing, everything changes. You were never meant to carry the weight of the world on your shoulders. You were never meant to live in anxiety, stress, or fear. These things are not of God. These things are not your natural state. Your natural state is peace. Your natural state is joy. Your natural state is complete and total trust. And when you return to this state, the entire universe bends to meet you where you stand. Doors open effortlessly. Opportunities arise where before there were none. Solutions present themselves without struggle. Because the moment you align with divine truth, the entire fabric of reality must shift to reflect that truth. You have spent so much time trying to control, trying to fix, trying to make things happen, and yet you have not realized that the very act of trying is resistance. The moment you release, the moment you surrender, the moment you let go of the need to figure everything out, you will see that it was never your burden to carry in the first place. God does not need your struggle. He does not need your effort. He simply needs your trust. Look at the birds of the air. They do not worry about where their next meal will come from, and yet they are fed. Look at the lilies of the field. They do not toil, and yet they bloom in perfect beauty. If God so perfectly provides for them, how much more will He provide for you? You who are made in His image. You who are His beloved creation. You who are already held in His hands. Amen. But still you worry. Still you fear. Still you believe that you must take matters into your own hands, as if the one who created all things is not capable of guiding your steps. And yet each time you let go, each time you release your grip, each time you surrender the illusion of control, you find that life moves with perfect ease, that the answers come, that the solutions appear, that the weight lifts, that at last remonstrates that you were not meant to live in a state of waiting. You were meant to live in a state of receiving. And receiving does not require effort. It requires faith. It requires you to stop questioning, stop hesitating, stop wondering whether or not God is working on your behalf. Because He is. He always has been. He always will be. The only thing standing in your way is your own resistance. The moment you release it, everything will flow. The moment you stop doubting, everything will unfold. The moment you trust completely, you will see that the very thing you have been seeking has been seeking you all along. It has been waiting for you to align with it, to step into the certainty of existence, to claim it as already done. There is no delay in the kingdom of God. There is no hesitation. There is no lack. These are illusions of the human mind, distractions that pull you away from the deeper truth that you are already whole, already provided for, already held in the perfect love of God. And the moment you wake up to this truth, the moment you embody it fully, the world around you will shift in ways you never thought possible. You do not need to understand how. You do not need to see the full picture. You only need to trust. And trust is not something that wavers. Trust is not something that changes with circumstance. True trust remains unshaken even when the world gives every reason to doubt. True trust stands firm even in the face of uncertainty. True trust knows that beyond every obstacle there is a greater plan unfolding, a plan that is already set in motion, a plan that cannot fail. God is not waiting to bless you. He has already blessed you. God is not withholding your breakthrough. It is already done. God is not testing you to see if you are worthy. You are already chosen. The only thing left for you to do is believe it, to step fully into this knowing, to release every last bit of doubt, and step into the certainty that all is well, that all has been taken care of, that all is unfolding exactly as it should. Every time you worry, remind yourself that worry is a choice. Every time you doubt, remind yourself that doubt is an illusion. Every time you feel fear creeping in, remind yourself that fear is nothing more than a false story your mind has created. And in that moment, choose faith instead. Choose to trust, choose to believe, choose to know with every fiber of your being that God has already made a way. There are no accidents in your life. There are no mistakes. Everything that has happened, everything that is happening, everything that will happen, it is all part of a divine design, a perfect orchestration that is leading you exactly where you need to be. And when you stop fighting it, when you stop resisting it, when you stop trying to force things to happen on your own, you will see that everything is already in motion. Everything is already flowing. Everything is already done. It is time to step out of the struggle. It is time to step out of the fear. It is time to step fully into the knowing that you are already held, already loved, already taken care of. It is time to stop looking for signs, stop asking for reassurance, stop questioning whether or not God is working in your life. He is. He always has been. He always will be. And the moment you stop questioning, the moment you stop doubting, the moment you stop hesitating and simply trust, you will see that everything you have been waiting for has been waiting for you. You do not need to earn your blessing. You do not need to prove yourself worthy. You do not need to struggle for what has already been freely given. You only need to receive it. And receiving is not about effort. It is about surrender. It is about releasing every last ounce of fear, every last drop of doubt, every last trace of resistance, and stepping fully into the knowing that it is already done. Everything is working out for you. Every detail is being arranged in your favor. Every challenge is preparing you for the blessing that is already on its way. And when you truly understand this, when you truly embody this, when you truly stand in the fullness of faith without wavering, you will see that God has already solved it, that every prayer has already been answered, that every need has already been met, that everything you have ever desired has already been given. Now, the only thing left is for you to trust, to believe, to step into the certainty that you are already taken care of, to let go of every doubt, every fear, every hesitation, and finally rest in the truth that it is done, that it has always been done, that it will always be done. And the moment you do, you will see that the very thing you were searching for was never far away. It was never out of reach. So it was always here. It was always yours. It was always waiting for you to simply believe. So now stand firm in your faith. Release every burden, every doubt, every fear. You are not forgotten. You are not abandoned. And you are not alone. God has already gone before you, preparing the way, aligning every detail, orchestrating every moment for your highest good. You do not need to struggle. You do not need to figure it all out. You simply need to trust. Trust that the answer is already within you. Trust that the solution is already unfolding. Trust that God has already solved it. And as you walk forward with this knowing, as you let go and surrender fully, you will see miracles unfold before your very eyes. You will see doors open that no man can shut. You will see blessings chase you down. And you will finally understand that all along, everything was working together for your good. It is done. It has always been done. Now simply believe. In this world of ours, we often feel powerless, victims of circumstance and fate. But I tell you now, this is the greatest illusion of all. For within you resides the power to create, to manifest, to bring forth your deepest desires into tangible reality. This power is not something to be earned or acquired, but a gift bestowed upon you by the very nature of your existence. Consider for a moment the vast universe that surrounds us, the infinite stars, the boundless galaxies, the intricate dance of planets and celestial bodies. All of this, every atom and particle, is but an expression of the divine imagination. And you, my dear friends, are cut from the same cloth, your imagination incarnate a living, breathing expression of God's creative power. Now, you may ask, if I possess such power, why does my life not reflect my desires? The answer, my friends, is simple yet profound. You have been using this power unconsciously, unaware of its true nature and potential. Your current circumstances, be they joyous or challenging, are but the fruits of your past imaginings. To harness this God-gifted power, we must first understand its nature. It is not something external to be grasped or manipulated, but an internal state to be realized and embodied. This power responds not to your conscious wishes or fleeting desires, but to the deepest convictions of your heart and mind. Imagine, if you will, a seed planted in fertile soil. This seed contains within it the blueprint of a mighty oak tree. It does not struggle or strain to become a tree. It simply unfolds according to its nature, drawing nourishment from its environment. In the same way, your desires contain within them the seeds of their own fulfillment. Your task is not to force them into being, but to provide the fertile soil of your consciousness for them to take root and flourish. The first step in this process is to cultivate awareness. Become acutely conscious of your thoughts, feelings, and beliefs, for these are the building blocks of your reality. Every thought you think, every emotion you feel, every belief you hold is a seed planted in the garden of your life. What harvest are you currently reaping? As you become aware of your inner world, you may discover thoughts and beliefs that do not serve your highest good. Limiting beliefs, self-doubt, fear, these are the weeds that choke the light from your desires. But do not despair, for just as you have the power to create, you have the power to transform. The next step is to harness the power of your imagination. For imagination is the language of the divine, the very substance of creation. When you imagine, you are not engaging in mere fantasy or daydreaming. You are in fact shaping the very fabric of your reality. Close your eyes for a moment and imagine your ideal life. Close your eyes for a moment and imagine your ideal life. See it in vivid detail. Feel the emotions associated with living that life. Hear the sounds, smell the scents, taste the flavors of your desire and reality. As you do this, you are not merely visualizing, you are experiencing your desire in the realm of imagination, which is the womb of physical manifestation. But imagination alone is not enough. For your imaginal acts to bear fruit in the physical world, they must be coupled with unwavering faith. Faith, my friends, is not blind belief in the unseen. It is the conviction of the reality of the imagined state. When you have true faith, you do not hope for your desire to manifest. You know with absolute certainty that is already yours. This knowing, this unshakable faith, is the key that unlocks the door to your desired reality. For you see, in the realm of the divine, there is no past, present, or future. All exists in an eternal now. Therefore, when you imagine your desire fulfilled and feel the reality of it, with every fiber of your being, you are in that moment, experiencing it as an accomplished fact. The power of this realization cannot be overstated, for when you truly understand and embody this truth, you cease to strive and struggle. You no longer feel the need to manipulate external circumstances or control others to achieve your goals. Instead, you rest in the calm assurance that your desire is already yours, and that the outer world must conform to this inner knowing. This, my dear friends, is the state of living from the end. It is a state where you no longer pray to a distant God for your desires to be fulfilled, but instead you pray from the consciousness of the wish fulfilled. You give thanks not for what you hope to receive, but for what you know you already possess. Living from the end requires a fundamental shift in consciousness. It calls for you to abandon your old identity, your old story, and step fully into the version of yourself that has already achieved your desire. This is not pretense or make-believe. It is a recognition of your true nature as a divine being capable of shaping reality through the power of consciousness. As you embrace this new state of being, you may find that the outer world seems slow to catch up. This is where patience and persistence come into play. Remember, just as a seed takes time to sprout and grow into a mighty tree, your imaginal acts need time to bear fruit in the physical realm. During this period of gestation, it is crucial to maintain your faith. Do not waver in your conviction, no matter what your physical senses may tell you, for the outer world is but a shadow, a reflection of past thoughts and beliefs. Your task is to hold steadfast to your new state of consciousness, knowing that the outer must inevitably conform to the inner. This process of manifestation is not about forcing change or manipulating circumstances. It is about aligning yourself with the natural flow of divine creation. Just as a river does not struggle to reach the ocean, but flows effortlessly along the path of least resistance, your desires will manifest with ease and grace when you align yourself with the divine flow. To maintain this alignment, it is essential to cultivate a sense of gratitude. Gratitude is not merely a polite sentiment, but a powerful creative force. When you are truly grateful, you are acknowledging the presence of your desire in your life. You are affirming its reality even before it manifests in the physical realm. Practice gratitude not just for what you can see and touch, but for the unseen blessings that are even now unfolding in your life. Give thanks for the wisdom that guides you, the love that surrounds you, and the power that resides within you. As you do this, you open yourself to receive even greater blessings. Another crucial aspect of harnessing your God-gifted power is to release attachment to outcomes. This may seem counterintuitive, for how can you manifest your desires if you are not attached to them? But attachment, my friends, is born of fear and lack. It is a subtle affirmation that you do not yet possess what you desire. Instead, cultivate a state of allowing trust in the wisdom of the divine to bring your desires to fruition in the perfect way and at the perfect time. Your job is not to orchestrate the how and when of manifestation, but to hold the energy of your desire with unwavering faith and joyful expectation. As you practice these principles, you may find that your desires begin to shift and evolve. This is natural and to be welcomed. For as you align yourself more fully with your divine nature, your desires will naturally align with your highest good and the highest good of all. Do not be afraid to dream big, to desire greatly. The power within you is infinite, capable of manifesting realities beyond your wildest imaginings. But remember, with great power comes great responsibility. As you tap into this divine creative force, use it wisely and with love. For you see, this power is not given to you for selfish gain or to dominate others. It is bestowed upon you as a sacred trust to be used in service of the greater good. As you manifest your desires, consider how your fulfilled wishes can bring light, love and joy not just to yourself, but to all those around you. Imagine a world where every individual recognizes and harnesses this God-gifted power. A world where each person lives from a state of abundance, love, and joy. This, my friends, is not a utopian fantasy, but the very reality we are called to create. As you step into this new understanding of your divine nature and creative power, you may encounter resistance, both from within yourself and from the world around you. This is to be expected. For centuries, we have been conditioned to believe in our limitations, to see ourselves as separate from the divine and powerless to shape our reality. But I tell you now, these beliefs are nothing more than illusions, shadows cast by the light of truth. They have no power over you unless you give them power through your belief. When you encounter such resistance, do not fight against it. Instead, observe it with detachment, recognizing it for what it is, the last gasp of an old paradigm that no longer serves you. Remember, what you resist persists. By fighting against limiting beliefs or challenging circumstances, you are inadvertently giving them power and prolonging their existence in your reality. Instead, turn your attention fully to the new state you wish to embody. Feed it with your faith, nurture it with your imagination, and watch as it grows stronger, eventually displacing the old. This process of transformation is not always easy or comfortable. It requires courage to let go of the familiar, even when the familiar no longer serves you. It demands faith to step into the unknown, trusting in the unseen. But I assure you, the rewards are beyond measure. As you begin to live from this new state of consciousness, you may find that your entire perception of the world shifts. What once seemed impossible becomes probable. What was once a struggle becomes effortless. You begin to see the hand of the divine in every aspect of your life, guiding you, supporting you, conspiring in your favor. This shift in perception is not just a pleasant side effect of manifesting your desires. It is, in fact, the very key to sustained success and fulfillment. For when you see the world through the eyes of the divine, you recognize the inherent abundance and perfection of all that is. You cease to operate from a place of lack of fear and instead move through life with grace and ease. In this state of divine perception, synchronicities abound. You find yourself in the right place at the right time, meeting the right people, encountering the perfect opportunities. This is not mere coincidence, but the natural result of aligning yourself with the flow of divine creation. As you continue to practice living from the end, imagining your desires fulfilled and embodying the consciousness of your ideal self, you may find that the very nature of your desires evolves. What once seemed important may fall away, replaced by deeper, more meaningful aspirations. This, too, is part of the journey. For as you align more fully with your divine nature, your desires naturally come into harmony with your highest good and the highest good of all. You begin to desire not just for yourself, but for the betterment of all humanity. Imagine, If you will, a world where every individual recognizes and admisses this God-gifted power, a world where each person lives from a state of abundance, love, and joy, where competition gives way to cooperation, where fear is replaced by faith, and where lack is transformed into plenty. This, my dear friends, is not a utopian fantasy, but the very reality we are called to create. And it begins with you here and now, recognizing and claiming your divine nature and creative power. As you step into this new understanding, you become a beacon of light in the world. Your very presence becomes a testament to the transformative power of living in alignment with divine truth. Others will be drawn to your light, curious about the source of your peace, your joy, your unwavering faith. And here lies your greatest opportunity for service. For as you share your understanding, as you demonstrate through your own life the reality of these principles, you become a catalyst for global transformation. You become an instrument of divine will, playing your unique part in the grand symphony of creation. But remember, dear ones, this is not about proselytizing or forcing your beliefs upon others. It is about living your truth so fully, so joyfully that others cannot help but take notice. It is about being a living example of the power of imagination, faith, and divine alignment. As you continue on this path, you may encounter moments of doubt or uncertainty. This is natural and to be expected, for you are navigating uncharted waters, breaking free from the limitations of conventional thinking and stepping into the boundless realm of divine possibility. In these moments, return to the basics. Remind yourself of your true nature as an expression of the divine. Reconnect with the feeling of your desire fulfilled. Reaffirm your faith in the unseen reality that is even now taking shape in your life. And above all, be patient and kind with yourself. This journey of awakening and manifestation is not a destination to be reached, but a continuous unfolding. Each day brings new opportunities for growth, for deepening your understanding, for expanding your capacity to receive and express divine love and creativity. Remember, the power you are learning to harness is not something external to be acquired or achieved. It is your very essence, the core of your being. You are not becoming something you are not. You are simply remembering who you truly are. As you embrace this truth, you may find that your entire approach to life shifts. Instead of seeing challenges as obstacles to be overcome, you recognize them as opportunities for growth and expansion. Instead of fearing change, you welcome it as a sign of your evolving consciousness. You begin to see every experience, every interaction, every moment as a gift, a precious opportunity to express and experience your divine nature. Even seeming setbacks or disappointments are recognized as stepping stones, guiding you towards greater alignment with your true self and your highest good. In this state of divine awareness, you no longer need to seek happiness or fulfillment from external sources. You recognize that true joy lasts in peace and boundless love arises from within, from your connection to the divine source of all being. This inner wellspring of joy becomes the foundation of your life, informing every thought, word, and action. You no longer act from a place of need or lack, but from a place of fullness and abundance. Your relationships deepen, your work becomes more fulfilling, and your impact on the world grows exponentially. As you continue to live from this expanded state of consciousness, you may find that your very presence becomes a transformative force in the world. Without effort or intention, you begin to uplift those around you, inspiring them to recognize and claim their own divine nature and creative power. This, dear ones, is the ripple effect of living in alignment with divine truth. As you transform your own life through the power of imagination and faith, you create a field of possibility that touches everyone, everything around you. Imagine the collective impact if each one of us were to fully embrace and express our divine nature. The world as we know it would be transformed overnight. Conflict would give way to cooperation, scarcity to abundance, fear to love. This is not a far-off dream, but a very real possibility. And it begins with you here and now, choosing to live from the consciousness of your divine self, choosing to see the world through the eyes of love, choosing to use your God-gifted power to create a life in a world that reflects the highest truth of who you are. As we draw this discourse to a close, I invite you to take a moment to reflect on what you've heard. Allow these truths to sink deep into your being, to take root in the fertile soil of your consciousness. Remember, the power to manifest your desired life is not something you need to acquire or develop. It is your birthright, your inherent nature as an expression of the divine. Your task is simply to awaken to this truth, to align yourself with it, and to live from it with unwavering faith and joyful expectation. Begin today. Choose one desire, one aspect of your life that you wish to transform. See it clearly in your mind's eye. Feel the reality of it with every fiber of your being. Give thanks for it as if it were already accomplished. Then release it to the divine wisdom that orchestrates all of creation, trusting that it will manifest in the perfect way and at the perfect time. As you do this, pay attention to the subtle shifts in your consciousness. Notice how your perception of yourself and the world around you begins to change. Observe the synchronicities that begin to appear in your life, guiding you towards the fulfillment of your desire. Remember, this is not a one-time exercise, but a new way of being. It requires practice, patience, and persistence. There may be moments of doubt or confusion along the way. When these arise, return to the truth of your divine nature. Reconnect with the feeling of your desire fulfilled. Reaffirm your faith in the unseen reality that is even now taking shape in your life. And above all, be kind and compassionate with yourself as you navigate this journey of awakening and manifestation. Celebrate each step forward, no matter how small it may seem. For each moment of alignment, each act of faith, each expression of gratitude is a powerful affirmation of your true nature and a step towards the full realization of your divine potential. As you continue to practice these principles, you will find that manifesting your desires becomes increasingly effortless. It becomes less about doing and more about being the version of yourself that has already achieved your desire, being in alignment with the diamond flow of creation, being an expression of love, abundance, and joy. Remember, dear ones, you are not separate from God, but an individualized expression of the divine itself. The power to create, to manifest, to transform is not something outside of you, but the very essence of who you are. As you awaken to this truth and learn to live from it, you become a powerful force for good in the world, a beacon of light guiding others towards their own divine nature. Go forth now with the knowledge of your true nature and power. Embrace your divine identity as the creator of your reality. Imagine your desires fulfilled, feel the emotions of achievement, and live from that state of consciousness. Your faith, coupled with divine imagination, is the catalyst for transformation. Remember, manifestation is not about force, but alignment with the divine flow. Cultivate gratitude, release attachment to outcomes, and trust in perfect timing. As you evolve, your desires may shift. Welcome this as part of your spiritual growth. Use this power responsibly, considering how your manifested desires can benefit others. Envision a world where everyone recognizes their divine nature, creating a reality of abundance, love, and joy for all. When facing doubts or challenges, return to these core principles. Be patient and kind with yourself as you deepen your understanding and expand your capacity to receive. Your journey of awakening is ongoing. Each experience is an opportunity to express your divine nature. Find joy and fulfillment within, letting it inform your thoughts and actions. As you align with divine truth, you become a transformative presence, inspiring others to recognize their own power. This ripple effect has the potential to change the world. Start today. Choose one desire, visualize it clearly, feel its reality, and give thanks for its fulfillment. Observe the shifts in your consciousness and the synchronicities that guide you. Practice consistently being compassionate with yourself along the way. Celebrate each step forward, knowing that every moment of alignment affirms your true nature. Remember, you are an expression of the divine. The power to create and transform is your essence. As you live from this truth, you become a beacon of light, guiding others to their own divine nature. Go forth and create the life you desire, knowing that as you do so, you contribute to the elevation of all humanity. Your journey of divine manifestation begins now. Embrace it with joy, faith, and the unshakable knowledge of your true, limitless nature.